Hello there, it's Friday, March 23, and what an eventful week it has been. GSAT champs and the Carifta Swimming Championships. It's no wonder in today's magazine, we'll be running highlights of the recently upgraded facilities at the National Aquatic Center, plans to renovate the National Stadium, and later, the transition from GSAT to PEP. Stay right there.
Good day, I'm Stephen McHugh, and this is your JIS News for Friday, March 23. Government has made a formal offer to repurchase Venezuela's 49% stake in Petrojam. A Jamaican delegation visited the South American country this week to discuss the way forward. The offer was made on Thursday during talks involving Energy Minister Andrew Wheatley, Foreign Affairs Minister Senator Kamina Johnson-Smith, and their Venezuelan counterparts. This move comes as the national oil refinery is experiencing difficulties in the distribution and payment for oil from Venezuela to Jamaica following a U.S. government executive order issued last year. It imposes restrictions on government entities in Venezuela, which has indirectly impacted Petrojam due to the South American government's heavy stake in the company. Government has launched a National Poverty Reduction Program, NPRP. It is designed to eradicate extreme food poverty by the year 2022 and to reduce national poverty prevalence significantly below 10% by 2030. The program is being implemented by the Planning Institute of Jamaica, PIOJ, in collaboration with the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation. At Wednesday's launch, Minister Horace Chang said the initiative would strengthen coordinated interventions across ministries, departments, and agencies through the Cabinet-approved Poverty Reduction Coordinative Unit located at the PIOJ. The program and the National Policy on Poverty were approved by the Houses of Parliament in September 2017.
The policy now provides a framework that establishes a core body with responsibility for the coordination of the various poverty reduction programs and all other poverty alleviation initiatives. It also identifies key focus areas and establishes a specific mechanism to deal with these targeted area groups.
He says the program should provide a credible and measurable space from which government efforts may be evaluated for their effectiveness and impact. Lands at Bernard Lodge in St. Catherine are to be developed as an urban community. Prime Minister Andrew Holness says Cabinet gave approval for the Bernard Lodge Land Use Master Plan last week. The plan allows for residential, commercial, light industrial, and agricultural use in a sustainable, orderly, and integrated urban center.
When this is complete, having gone through the processes prescribed by government, 17,000 new homes plus the other uses will be accommodated in this area.
Agro-processing.
So if you are talking, Mr. Speaker, about us expanding options and access to housing and communities, this government is going to make a radical transformation of the housing landscape.
While delivering his budget presentation on Tuesday, the Prime Minister also announced that government would support a private sector-led plastic bottle return system. The system calls for a deposit and payout on the return of plastic bottles to producers. Mr. Holness says the initiative is one of a suite of actions to be taken against what he says is a solid waste management crisis. The Prime Minister says the system received consensus from stakeholders through the National Partnership Council.
The government will support the plastic bottle return system with the necessary regulatory and financial support where possible. There are other initiatives being considered by the government with regards to plastic bags, plastic packaging materials, and styrofoam.
And finally, the Ministry of National Security has entered into an agreement to teach fundamentals in security science to college students. The Ministry and the Jamaica Constabulary Force, JCF, signed a Memorandum of Understanding on Thursday with 4 colleges to provide the course to 400 students at a cost of $28 million. The certificate program will run for 3 months, and successful students will have the opportunity to be selected for recruitment into the JCF. National Security Minister Robert Montego says the partnership is part of a program to pre-certify individuals wanting a career in various areas of the security force.
Once you satisfy the requirements of that community college and the program, a background check is done, the necessary tests are administered, and you enter into the program. And once you are within the program, you must also sign an agreement with the government, because the Ministry of National Security is underwriting the full cost of the program.
Director of the National Police College, ACP Yvonne Martin-Daly, says the courses will introduce students to core knowledge that is necessary for policemen and women.
This program will incorporate topics like communication, sociology, information technology, customer service, ethics, the Jamaican justice systems, and that will incorporate some theoretical aspects of the laws in Jamaica that is usually taught at the college. And of course, they will be involved in physical fitness and community engagement.
And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Stephen McHugh. Thanks for watching.
Stand up and get in the race.
I can become the master of my destiny.
Step up your stride, make we work like a harder. Do it like Veronica, more than a supper.
We can rise above the challenges and shine.
Was with passion in your heart. Make a plan and stop all the hyping. You think I saw? We reach a the aging. I can, you can. Like our Olympians, every Jamaican can.
Champs 2018 is going on right now at the Independence Park. Each year, the National Stadium comes alive as future world and Olympic champions take to the field and the track. Did you know that the government has plans to upgrade the facilities so that it can host even bigger meets in the future? Here are the plans.
It is the venue for national sporting activities and major events. Fondly called The Office by local sports fans, the National Stadium is earmarked for major redevelopment under the Jamaica 55 Legacy Projects Initiative. The objective of the Jamaica 55 National Stadium redevelopment is to provide Jamaica with a first-class modern sport venue. When the project is completed, it is expected that the National Stadium will host mega events such as the IAAF Diamond League meets and FIFA CONCACAF tournaments, as well as concert tours, conventions and mass meetings that are usually held at world-class stadia across the globe.
The minister has announced what we call a bidding team, led by the Honorable Mike Fennell, and we're going to put the people with the expertise on it. So we can go there and go after in an aggressive way and in a very meaningful way these international games.
Before the country can host those international events, a few shortcomings need to be addressed, like limited seating of only 31,000 and partial covering of the grandstand area.
Right now, we fail most of the tests that our international sporting bodies put on what is required in our infrastructure to stage major international sports.
The stadium also needs improved security, emergency exits, dedicated access for VIPs, players and officials, and better medical facilities, media broadcast booths and concession stands. Also, a purpose-built secure doping testing area for athletes.
In what they call an athlete exclusion zone. Right now, what we have is a makeshift arrangement, which Ward has said, yes, it's not too bad, but it's not ideally where it ought to be.
The redevelopment of the National Stadium contains 9 major changes to the office. The bleachers section, located east of the grandstand, is to be demolished and replaced with a modern all-seater stand extending to trackside. The upper north and south bleacher will be upgraded with a modern all-seater stand, complete with concessions, public toilets, security and first aid stations. A new trackside service area and energy-efficient lighting are also in the plans. A state-of-the-art wireless communication system will be installed, and the grandstand will be upgraded to include a better VIP area, additional concessions, toilets, and trackside seating.
If we're going to be serious and treat sports not just as recreation, but look at the business of sports and what it can do for us in terms of national development, real economic returns from sports, we have to have the right infrastructure.
So added to the plans is a first-rate venue operating center, proper gate management, security staging areas, first aid centers, maintenance facility, and a sport equipment and operational storage area. Leading into the stadium itself,
we are improving on what we call Statue Square, which is right in front of the National Stadium. When they come there, to be able to buy miniature statues of the Usain statue, you must have an ice cream kiosk that people can come on a Sunday afternoon, buy ice cream and 2 hamburgers, and then take the picture and go home. And people go to the stadium not just to watch a football match or to watch a netball match, but it now becomes a social area, the center of entertainment and sporting activities in Kingston. We now have a development plan. The price tag on it is $45 million to get it done.
The redevelopment work is being conducted in 4 phases and should be completed by the year 2022. So, just as our athletes have achieved global fame, if government has its way, the place where many began their journey to stardom will also become world-renowned.
So it becomes a modern stadium, and that's our aim, that's our vision, that is going to be achieved.
The National Aquatic Center at the Independence Park recently received a $27 million upgrade, just in time for the center's hosting of this year's Carifta Swimming Championships, which began on March 15 and will culminate on April 4. Here's a glimpse of what the facility received.
Go. As a major sport that has represented Jamaica at every level, from local club meets to the Olympics and the World Championships, we are pleased to be recognized with this new and modern equipment.
The Sports Development Foundation continues to take on critical projects of this sort, working with the board and management of IPL. The work entailed the changing of the filters, the complete overhaul of the diving facility, and extensive upgrading of the swimming pool. Starting blocks and timing pads were installed.
This equipment will be put to good use.
The Aquatic Center at Independence Park here in Kingston, Jamaica, is arguably the most heavily used sporting facility in Jamaica. We must maintain it, And most important, we upgrade it ever so often to ensure that our water sports exponents have at their disposal a world-class facility.
And we're certainly highly motivated now to continue improving our performances and to make Jamaica proud.
This upgrading activity has dovetailed nicely into the work of the organizing committee of the Carifta Games, all designed to ensure that our hosting of the Carifta Games will be up to world-class standard. These games we know will include open water swim, water polo and artistic swimming. And I want to encourage all Jamaicans to come out and support Jamaica, of course, and to welcome the visiting teams.
Go.
The intention of the government has always been to bring all hands on deck to ensure professionalism, which would result in the required standards being reached at the organizational level, and which will give our athletes their best chance of success.
Hi, you're watching Jamaica Magazine.
Sports development is an important part of all societies as it fosters national identity and exposure. Trailblazers such as Herb McKinley, George Bunny Grant, George Roden, Courtney Walsh, and in recent times, Usain Bolt, Shelley and Fraser Price, and Aaliyah Atkinson ensure Jamaica remains in the spotlight. With so much talent among our Jamaican sportsmen and women, developing the sector can only result in massive financial growth for these athletes and the nation. It is for this reason that the Sports Development Foundation, SDF, will continue its drive to build and rehabilitate sports facilities, form policies and programs that will allow for the development of athletes, ensure the continuity of sports programs at the community level, and assist sporting associations to fulfill their mandates by providing financial and administrative support to sport-related development programs.
When the Sports Development Foundation started back in 1995, there were only about 11 or so associations. That has now mushroomed to 40, over 40, we're about 44 right now. And that now includes things like dominoes and darts, ice sports, skating and that sort of a thing.
Funding is made possible through a cess imposed on the domestic gaming industry, which is paid to the Culture, Health, Arts, Sports and Education Chase Fund. As far as the eye can see throughout our beautiful land, the SDF has planted sporting facilities that have reshaped communities. Journeying through the parish of Kingston will yield a most striking find, Independence Park, a sports and cultural complex.
It started with a joint venture to fund our video board some 10 years ago. And subsequently we have depended a lot on the SDF to provide capital funding. They have replaced both running tracks, the main track and the Stadium East track. They have replaced the filters in the pool, and the filters are over 50 years. They resurfaced the netball courts and they replaced the seating.
Did you know that the National Stadium track is an International Association of Athletics Federation's IAAF certified level 1 top-class facility?
To maintain world-class athletes, you have to have world-class standards. And this is one of the few facilities in Jamaica that we can allow our athletes in all areas to have international competition. So they need these venues. Same thing with swimming, netball. If you don't have these facilities, people can't train. If they can't train, they can't get the world-class standards.
From the general community to the school environment, the SDF believes in honing the skills of our athletes from an early age. The organization has rehabilitated sporting facilities at Nakalva Technical High in Hanover and Edwin Allen High in Clarendon.
I came here in 2009, and when I came here, I realized that there was no playing field. Yes, they had an area that the students would play, but it was a health risk. It was very hazardous in that they had a lot of tree trunks and all of that all over, vines, and it was a cow pasture. So there was no playing field here. We have received a playing field. We got it in 2012. The students and the teachers and my neighbors, they are very appreciative in that they never had sports day. They never entered any major sporting activities, so the students can train for champs, and they also participate in the Da Costa Cup and the Under 14 competition. So you will hear about us in champs.
Formerly, we had two courts that were not in good condition, and they came to our rescue. The school has been doing tremendously well, and I can look at basketball. Some years ago, we actually entered the finals nationally, and the boys have asserted themselves because boys are the ones who tend to play basketball here, and they have excelled, and I think the facility has helped them significantly.
The school has also been excelling in track and field.
The school has been doing exceptionally well in the ISA Boys and Girls Championships. And I remember 2012, we took the title, and we took it back in 2014 and 2015.
It is evident that both schools are benefiting from these donations as the students continue to use the facilities for training and as a means to excel in various sporting competitions. The STF has also collaborated with ministries like the Agriculture Ministry to build sporting facilities. Take, for instance, the Tollgate Sports Complex in Clarendon.
There was a huge turnout from the community, and I think that auspicious beginning ought to go well. We went in through the Sports Development Foundation, and we rehabilitated the field, plant grass, fence it. We rehabilitated the hard court, and also the community center that is there, the changing facility and so on. We also upgraded that. So it's a brand new facility.
Then there is the Hockey Federation, which has under its umbrella the Mona Hockey Field, which boasts an AstroTurf. This field is the only facility in Jamaica and one of the few in the Caribbean. And there's more.
The biggest project we're working on right now, everybody would know, is the GC Foster College track. We're reconstructing that track completely. That's a big one. They need a track because, of course, while we have been good from long before the college, the fact is they have taken it and carried it to another level, and so they must have a good facility.
The new track is set to receive Level 2 IAAF certification when completed. Sports will always be integral to the Jamaican culture, and the SDF is committed to preserving the country's sporting heritage.
Jamaica, 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 yeah.
Today, the final sitting of the Grade 6 Achievement Test was administered. Yes, this examination, which replaced the Common Entrance exam in 1999, will be replaced by the Primary Exit Profile in 2019. Take a look at just what PEP entails.
Since 1999, the Grade 6 Achievement Test GSAT has been the standard examination for primary school students to matriculate to secondary school. But after years of analyzing the challenges associated with GSAT, the government has formulated a new high school placement test for the nation's children. The Primary Exit Profile, or PEP, is aimed at providing a profile of where a student is academically by testing the entrance strengths, weaknesses, and readiness for Grade 7.
PEP will assess students' knowledge in addition to placing increased emphasis on assessing students' skill, of communication, critical thinking, and creativity.
The academic profile will be generated from grade 1 and will be aligned to the National Standards curriculum.
But the advantages of PEP include more accurate evidence-based information in terms of students' performance will be available. Students' completion of the curriculum and their progress will be monitored more regularly. More opportunities will be provided for teachers to identify students' strengths and weaknesses and therefore plan lessons to meet the specific needs of each student.
Unlike GSAT, which has 5 areas, PEP focuses on 3 key components: performance task, an ability test, and a curriculum-based test. Similar to school-based assessments, the performance task consists of real-world scenarios
that will require students to apply their knowledge and skills from the following subject areas: mathematics, science, language arts, and social studies.
Performance tasks will be administered in grades 4, 5, and 6 by the student's classroom teacher. The ability test will be sat in grade 6 and requires students to read analytically and use quantitative reading skills to respond to questions.
Ability tests generally assess students' aptitude in areas of numeracy, verbal and nonverbal ability, and abstract thinking ability. This will assess grade 6 content only, and in the areas of mathematics, science, social studies, and language arts. This test will consist of multiple choice items along with other structured and essay-type questions.
The ability test under PEP will represent 30% of the final score, while the curriculum-based and performance tests will together account for 70% of the profile grade.
PEP will therefore be implemented on a phased basis. Students who are currently in grade 5 will be the first PEP cohort. They will, however, do only the grade 6 components in 2019.
The curriculum-based test will be administered in April 2019. Students currently in grade 4 will do their grade 5 performance task in 2019 and the ability and curriculum-based tests in 2020.
Students who are currently, however, in grade 3 will be the first cohort that will do the performance task from grade 4 up to grade 6. So therefore, those students who are currently in grade 3 will do their grade 4 performance task in 2019, grade 5 performance task in 2020, and of course, they will do the grade 6 components, including the abilities tests and the grade 6 performance task component in 2021.
Introducing students to critical thinking, creativity, and communication from an early age through PEP is evidence of the government's commitment to providing students who are better equipped for the workforce.
The end game is that everyone, which is the aspiration, will graduate with the equivalent of an associate degree by the end of grade 13.
Unfortunately, this is where the program ends, but thank you for crossing the finishing line with me today. If you want a recap of the course taken by today's magazine, all you have to do is visit our website, jis.gov.jm, or our YouTube channel, Jamaica Information Service, for the uploaded video. Don't forget to share your feedback and comments by emailing us at jamaicamagazine@jis.gov.jm and follow us on Twitter @JIS News. I'm Carrie Ann Smith. Walk good.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.